I'm at the Church of St. John, Paul, and Clement, and I come here every Saturday for piano lessons. In the D chord, there are two sharps, which is F sharp and C sharp. In the A sharp, I believe, it's three sharps.
Jorden, he's an awesome kid. He's very inquisitive. He's extremely self-motivated, and he's also very funny.
My father is an Aries. He's about 70 to 80 years old. She said to delete that.
And he's extremely sensitive.
MISC, multi-inflammatory syndrome for children.
When COVID came about, I was working in healthcare.
It's a strand of the coronavirus for children, and it's seemingly related to the Kawasaki syndrome.
I'm at work one day, and I just wasn't feeling the same. Like, I felt different. I said, I'm gonna call to get a COVID test. It came back positive. I quarantined and went back to work. An entire month later, Jorden begins with a temperature.
I was upstairs, and Mom told me to lay down, and then I said I couldn't breathe easier.
His eyes turned red. I've never seen anything like that. And his hands turned red. We arrive at Maria Ferreri, and they take him in immediately. They basically told me, we're transferring him to the PICU.
He already was MISC, and that's a complication of COVID. And very quickly, all of us realized that he was getting deeper and deeper in trouble.
The morning is when everything went completely downhill. They woke me up and said, Jorden is not getting better. The oxygen is not working. We need to put him on a ventilator. Ventilator for what? His lungs started failing. His heart was failing. His kidneys were failing.
He was so sick that he was not able to maintain an appropriate blood pressure. Very quickly, we had to make a decision about putting him on what we call ECMO, which is a heart-lung bypass machine. How serious is it to put someone on ECMO? On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say that that's a 10.
I think the hardest part was when the doctor said, you know, you need to give him a kiss and just talk to him quickly. I said, Jor, you're gonna be okay. I just need you to be strong, and Mommy will be right here. I won't leave your side. That was it. That was the last thing I said to him, you know. Hours later, they realized that the blood was pumping into his lungs, and that's when they said, we need to do surgery on his heart. We need to poke a little hole to get it flowing the correct way. I said, how are you gonna do that? Because he was hooked up to all these machines, and I've never seen so many doctors and specialists and surgeons, and they moved him with all the machines and the ventilator and the ECMO and everything into the operating room. And they came out and said he was amazing.
We started weaning the ECMO circuit as in reducing the amount of pump flow that was acting as his heart. Jordan's heart started taking over, and we were encouraged to see his heart beating much better than it was 72 hours ago.
And now I started to see his feet move and his hands move and his eyes flutter, you know. So I knew he was coming back to us. Nurses would come in and just hold my hand and rub my back and say, it's gonna be okay, Mom. It's gonna be okay, because they were all mothers too. His cardiologist, Dr. Warsey, every time we go to him and he sees Jorden, he says, you're a miracle, Jorden. And you're an inspiration for me to tell other parents whose children are suffering with COVID and MISC that they will make it because of Jorden.
I hope and I pray that your loved ones and your children never ever have to be in the pediatric intensive care unit of a children's hospital. There are 170 such children's hospitals that are part of the Children's Miracle Network that are out there. just in case you were to need one.
Well, I want to become POTUS, the president. I just think that people, they need to unite together and to rebuild this nation brick by brick so that we could become a better society.
Well, you know, he says he wants to be the president of the United States, and personally, I think Jorden would make a great Supreme Court justice. That's my opinion.
It's almost like the analogy of a seed. All I'm doing is guiding this plant for 2 or 3 days, and what you have is you will have a beautiful tree that will provide for many, many decades down the road.